What's happening, everybody? Bob Wankel, CrossingBroad.com. Here we have the Eagles, the Cowboys, live from Lincoln Financial Field, Sunday afternoon. NFC East Championship likely on the line. Cowboys can win it outright. Eagles 2 wins away from heading to the postseason and hosting a playoff game. Who's going to win this game? Who's going to cover the spread? We will get to that in just a minute. But if you're interested in betting on this game, head over to CrossingBroad.com. Get DraftKings Sportsbook at CrossingBroad.com/DK. They will offer you plus 300 moneyline odds if you're a new user, and all users at Fox Bet, and you can go to CrossingBroad.com/FB, get Fox Bet. They're giving away plus 200 odds on the money line on an Eagles win.
You give me a rain.
All right, before we get into our current odds, some betting trends and things that you need to know before placing your wagers on this football game, a couple storylines ahead of this one that we need to talk about. The Eagles have been outstanding at home under Doug Peterson at Lincoln Financial Field in the months of December and January, 8-2 all-time at the Link under Doug late in the season. And then for the Cowboys, it's all about Ezekiel Elliott. He haunts Jim Schwartz's defense. He's averaging 163 scrimmage yards per game, 4.9 yards per carry. He has been a nightmare for the Eagles. The Dallas Cowboys are 5-0 when Ezekiel Elliott plays. And then this game, you can talk about the defense. You can talk about the lack of weapons for the Eagles, home field advantage, all of these other trends that we'll get to in a minute, but likely it's going to come down to the effectiveness of Carson Wentz. And after some early career struggles late in games, the last 2 weeks, he's been outstanding in the fourth quarter, engineering game-winning drives with the Eagles' backs up against the wall. 28 of 35 passing, 284 yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks, a 138.6 quarterback rating. So Carson Wentz coming into this one red hot, at least later in the game. All right, let's take a look at the current odds of this football game. Cowboys currently a 3-point favorite, minus 150 on the money line, total at 46.5. These odds are courtesy of DraftKings Sportsbook. Eagles are plus 132 on the money line. Of course, you should know, again, at Fox Bet, plus 200 payout on the Eagles money line. And if you're a new user at DraftKings Sportsbook, they'll give you plus 300 money line odds if you're backing the Eagles. This game actually opened with the Cowboys as a 2.5-point favorite, something you should know about that. Road favorites late in the season, division games that open as less than a 3-point favorite. They're 10-20-2 against the spread, so I thought that was pretty intriguing. And even though this now has been pushed up to 3 as we sit here at midweek, those teams are only 3-7 ATS when the line moves from under 3 to 3 by close. Now, all right, so some trends that we're looking at ahead of this game. I'm a big believer that poor cover teams playing good cover teams late in the season are going to see things average out. There are a lot of trends that suggest that this is the case. And to that end, home underdogs in division contests that cover less than 36% of its games, playing an opponent that covers more than half of its games, are 20-13-2 ATS in December or later. And this is super specific, but it is eye-popping nonetheless. Teams in this situation in Week 16 are 12-2-1 ATS. So that is something to keep in mind. Now, on the flip side, home underdogs of 3 points or less that lost the previous head-to-head matchup by 25 points or more are 6-14 ATS overall and 2-5 ATS when it's played between division opponents. Eagles were blown out earlier in the season by the Cowboys. And something else that you should know that does not bode well for Philadelphia in this game, home underdogs of 3 points or less in division games are 53-75-5 ATS in the month of November or later. They're 40-52-2 ATS when losing the previous head-to-head matchup. So, a little bit of data that kind of supports both teams in this game. I want to take a quick look at the total. The under in Doug Peterson coach games at home has been an unbelievable play since he started in 2016. The under is 22-9 in games coached by Peterson at Lincoln Financial Field. It's 11-3 following a game in which the Eagles are coming off of an over as they were or as they did last week. It's also 11-2 at Lincoln Financial Field against teams that made the postseason in the previous year. So the under has been money at Lincoln Financial Field, and that's because Jim Schwartz's defense plays markedly better football, and the Eagles tend to play a ball control offense by nature. And so that's a good mixture for the under. The under is also 56-30 in division games with a closing total between 46 and 48 that are played in the month of December or later. It's 41-18 when the total closes between 46 and 47 points. And of course, right now, as we record on Wednesday, the total is 46.5 points. All right, so where is the money going on Sunday for us? I'm be honest with you, I'm a little bit of an Eagles fan. I hate the Dallas Cowboys, so take this with a grain of salt, but I'm going to try to give you my unbiased opinion on this. So, some plays that I really like. We see that late in the season, games between division opponents, especially with totals set in the mid-40s, hit the under. That is what history suggests is going to happen. I believe that this is going to be a close game, and I think that the Eagles are going to do everything in their power to try to keep it a lower scoring contest because it maximizes their opportunity to win. I think the Cowboys are under 23.5 on Sunday afternoon. You can get this at DraftKings Sportsbook. I can't sit here and tell you that I love the Eagles this week, but if you want to bet on the Eagles and you are somebody that is in the Delaware Valley or you're an Eagles fan watching this, I suggest taking the Eagles to win the game outright and pairing it with the under 46.5 for a 310 payout at DraftKings Sportsbook, because I do believe that if the Eagles are to win this game, they're going to have to do it in low-scoring fashion. So I think contextually that play makes a lot of sense, and it maximizes your ability to win on the Eagles. And then here's a bet that I absolutely love over at Fox Bet. Carson Wentz to complete more than 25 passes. You got to lay minus 118 odds, but he has completed at least 28 passes in each of his last 4 games. You look at how the Eagles are playing in recent weeks. A lot of completions to running backs, tight ends, very conservative, high-volume passing game for the Eagles, and I think that they're going to do that once again on Sunday, so I'm taking Carson Wentz over 25 completions. As for the game itself, my play is going to be on the under. And again, I can tell you that without bias. If I had to pick it, I would take advantage of the deals at Fox Bet and at DraftKings. And again, you can go to crossingbroad.com/DK, sign up for DraftKings Sportsbook, take advantage of that plus 300 exclusive odds offer, or go to Fox Bet through crossingbroad.com/FB, download Fox Bet and take advantage of their plus 200 Eagles moneyline odds offer.